Mastering red wine, Cabernet Sauvignon in depth. Cabernet Sauvignon is often called the king of red grapes. Bold, structured, and age-worthy, it's one of the most widely planted and most recognizable wines in the world. Whether you're drinking a classic Bordeaux, a powerful Napa Valley red, or an approachable Chilean Cabernet, the grape consistently delivers character and confidence. In this guide, we'll dive deep into Cabernet Sauvignon, its history, its flavors, its structure, and how to spot it in your glass. Let's start with origins. Cabernet Sauvignon comes from France. In the 17th century, it emerged as a natural crossing between Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc. That lineage is reflected in its name and in its flavors. Cabernet Franc contributes herbal and spicy notes, while Sauvignon Blanc gives freshness and acidity. Over time, the grape proved adaptable to many climates, and today it grows almost everywhere: France, California, Chile, Australia, South Africa, and beyond. In France, Cabernet Sauvignon is best known in Bordeaux, where it forms the backbone of left bank blends from regions like Médoc and Pauillac. These wines combine Cabernet with Merlot, Cabernet Franc, and sometimes Petit Verdot, creating complex, structured reds built for aging. In the New World, especially Napa Valley, Cabernet Sauvignon often stands alone. Warm sunshine and rich soils produce wines that are riper, fruitier, and more powerful than their Old World cousins. Other major producers include Chile's Maipo Valley, where Cabernet shows elegance and spice, and Australia's Coonawarra region, where a unique soil called Terra Rosa gives the wines a distinct minty edge. Now, let's look at Cabernet in the glass. Cabernet Sauvignon is typically deep ruby to purple in color. Young wines can be nearly opaque, while older examples shift toward garnet with brick edges. Swirl the glass and you'll notice heavy legs, hinting at higher alcohol and body. On the nose, Cabernet Sauvignon delivers a signature set of aromas. Expect dark fruits like blackcurrant, blackberry, and plum. These often blend with secondary notes of cedar, tobacco, graphite, or green bell pepper, especially in cooler climates where herbal tones are stronger. With oak aging, vanilla, spice, coffee, and smoky aromas join the mix. In very mature bottles, you may even find leather, cigar box, or earthy forest floor. On the palate, Cabernet Sauvignon is bold and structured. It almost always shows firm tannins, medium to high acidity, and a full body. These structural elements give it power, but also balance. The fruit is usually dark and concentrated. Blackcurrant is the hallmark flavor, layered with savory or spicy undertones depending on where it's grown. Let's compare styles. Old World Cabernet, like Bordeaux, tends to be more restrained. The fruit is elegant, often redder in tone. Think cherry and red currant, balanced by earthy, mineral, and herbal notes. The tannins can be grippy, and the wines often need years of aging to soften. These are wines of subtlety and structure. New World Cabernet, like Napa Valley, tends to be riper and more opulent. Here, you'll find blackcurrant, cassis, blackberry, and plum dominating, with oak adding generous layers of vanilla, mocha, and toast. The tannins are plush, the alcohol higher, and the body weightier. These wines often drink while young, but can still age gracefully. Chile often sits somewhere in between. Cabernet from Maipo or Colchagua Valley shows ripe fruit, but also an herbal streak, sometimes described as mint, eucalyptus, or green pepper. Australian Cabernet from Coonawarra famously carries notes of blackcurrant and menthol, giving it a cooling, lifted quality. Oak aging is key to Cabernet Sauvignon's character. Because the grape is naturally high in tannin and acidity, oak barrels help soften and round out the texture. French oak adds elegance, spice, and subtle vanilla, while American oak often brings stronger flavors of coconut, dill, and sweet spice. A well-oaked Cabernet can carry hints of smoke, cedar, or even dark chocolate. Cabernet Sauvignon also has incredible aging potential. High-quality bottles from Bordeaux, Napa, or Tuscany can evolve for decades. Over time, the bold fruit softens, tannins mellow, and complex tertiary notes emerge: leather, cigar box, dried herbs, and earthy richness. That's why collectors prize Cabernet. It rewards patience like few other grapes. Now, let's talk about food pairings. Cabernet Sauvignon's tannins love protein and fat. A classic pairing is grilled steak, where the meat's richness smooths out the wine's structure. Lamb, venison, and game also work beautifully. Hard cheeses like aged cheddar or Gouda make great companions, too. The wine's boldness means it can stand up to barbecue, braised short ribs, or hearty stews. On the other hand, avoid pairing Cabernet with delicate dishes like seafood or light salads. The wine will overwhelm them. For vegetarians, think rich, savory dishes like mushroom risotto, lentil stew, or roasted eggplant. The earthy, umami qualities play well with Cabernet's depth. So how can you identify Cabernet Sauvignon in a blind tasting? Look for these clues: deep color, strong tannin that dries your mouth, flavors of blackcurrant and blackberry, and a long, powerful finish. If you sense cedar, tobacco, or green bell pepper, you're likely leaning Old World. If the wine bursts with ripe fruit and vanilla, you're probably in New World territory. Beginners often confuse Cabernet Sauvignon with Merlot or Syrah. Merlot is softer, with rounder tannins and riper plum flavors. Syrah can also be full-bodied but often shows pepper, smoke, or savory meatiness that Cabernet usually doesn't. With practice, Cabernet's firm grip and signature cassis note become unmistakable. Cabernet Sauvignon is more than just a wine. It's a global benchmark. Its adaptability has made it a staple in almost every wine region, and its structure has made it a cornerstone of wine education. When you understand Cabernet, you understand a fundamental pillar of the wine world. So the next time you pour a glass, pause before sipping. Look at the deep color. Inhale the blackcurrant, cedar, or vanilla. Take a sip and feel the tannins grip, the acidity balance, the body fill your mouth, and the finish echo long after. That's Cabernet Sauvignon in its purest form: powerful, structured, and unforgettable.